Hey there, guys and gals. You're listening to the Tempest Universe. This is the Tempest Universe.
Hey, welcome to the Tempest Universe. This is the Saturday impromptu episode. I was actually talking to the Norm, and actually he's live right now in the chat box. I was actually talking to him, I think it was Thursday, and I was like, fuck, I gotta do an episode come Friday. But, as we know, life fucking happens, and got out of work late, and there was not enough time to get the podcast done. And, you know, at the time my brain was fucking burning. It was on fire. It was like lit up. You know, and some of the stuff that Norm told me kind of, you know, struck to the core of many things that I've been thinking about. But that's for a later episode. We're not going to bring this up here. We have things going on. And one of them is the Space Gigolo. He's back. You know, back in December, it was like November, December of 2020, you know, the year of Shittergate, that I was literally asking on the podcast, I think I did it twice, where the fuck is Deuce Bigalow, the Space Gigolo? Where is Robert T. Bigelow? I mean, for fuck's sake. He was part of OSAP that turned into ATIP. And we've got all these things going on. We've got this whole report coming out, which everyone is still fucking talking about. Like, come on. Wait the 6 months. Pick something else to talk about. And lo and behold, we're about to find out where he is. We know where he's at. But there are links in the description of this episode that you must go in. You don't even have to read. For fuck, you know, if you don't even know how to read, you're good to go. They've got video. No transcription, just video. But before you do that, you need to take the history of Deuce Bigalow, the Space Gigolo. You need to take the whole thing and take it in, and then you look at what in the hell he's doing now. It's funny because Chrissy from Old Pop Repeat was on the podcast when we were live on Wednesday. And I've got to say this. The ladies usually just don't show up just for fuck's sake when they want to. You know, sometimes there's a message in there somewhere. And I happen to go to Instagram, and Chrissy sent me an image of what turned out to be was an interview that Deuce Bigalow, the Space Gigolo, did with George Knapp. And now I did watch part of the interview. It's like in segments or whatever. And so I went back to Instagram, and then I posted some random shit because I was already on my fourth vodka concoction. And she like, hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I couldn't go back and, explain that because I've had I don't know if it's a fascination, by the way. I don't know if it was a fascination about Deuce Bigalow, the Space Gigolo, Robert Bigelow. But in a way it is. Because he really has been able to take his early lifehood experience. As a kid, grandparents, what they went through, parents, what he went through, made his money, cha-ching, and then he took over everything. And he still, for many people, he is unknown when it comes to UFOs. Like people, Skinwalker Ranch, they don't connect Skinwalker Ranch to ASAP, over to ATIP, to the Stars Academy, and the shit just goes on. It is the craziest chain of events that a lot of people do not tie together. At the moment that I found out that the money that was used for ATIP was also used for Skinwalker Ranch, and the dude that was at the helm of all of that was Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, it really makes you wonder. You've got to stop and think and connect the dots. Please, somebody fucking out there, just do it. This is why I'm in the podcasting thing. Not because I'm out there promoting books and works of other people. To be honest, you guys already know. If you listen to the podcast, I give no fucks about that. Once in a while, I come across a brave soul who wants to put their story on the podcast. I mean, listen, if you listen to me, if you listen to the way I express many things, I can see why a lot of people don't want to get on here, but for fuck's sake, if you got a pair of balls on you, and you've got a story, then you need to stick behind it. No matter what show you're on, you need to just go in there and just put it down. Plain and simple. A lot of people have done that. They've come on here, they put the story down because they believe in it. But then there are those who, well, actually, let me just take that back. Everything I just said was in reference to UFO Buster Radio. The Tempest Universe just started this year. So it might be a little different for some folks, right? But it's still me. And when I see a challenge, I've got to rise to it. For the most part, when people come on the podcast, I am easy going on them because I still want to give them an opportunity to walk and talk the talk. Put your info down the way you meant it to be presented. And then after that, then if I feel like it, then, it's balls to the wall. Grab onto something because the storm's coming. Because it's a Tempest universe. That's the way it's going to be. I feel like we should all have a mission to understand this one person. We don't need to understand Paradolia, Pete, Scottsy, Waring. We don't need to understand anybody else. Not Third Phase of Moon. Not Goofon, Rich Giordano. We don't need to understand none of those fuckers. We need to understand the folks that are getting this job done, good, bad, or indifferent. They're keeping the information from you. And as a blue-collar person, because I know most of you are, generally, the entire group probably is. I know that you know, in your heart of hearts, that there are people out there who are getting all the info. And maybe because of money. Maybe the money is what making it easy for them to get the info. But I guarantee you that Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, knows enough to turn your perception of ufology, of the paranormal, upside down. Not anecdotal evidence, real evidence. Real good research. Not to say that the research wasn't flawed, but it's way the fuck more than what you would get out of the Travel Channel. I'm just saying that. Let's just put it out there. It's the truth. It is the damn truth. But we got stories today. One of them has to do with Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, because, he's on this thing promoting his newly founded organization. To be honest, I just don't know. I don't know. There is something about people like Deuce Bigelow, Robert Bigelow, from Bigelow Aerospace, who, when they speak, I feel like they're hiding the entire universe behind them. It's the same thing with Elon Musk. For fuck's sake, when he presents things, you're more confused about what the fuck he's trying to say than what he's actually saying. It is the same thing with Robert Bigelow. It's like a fucking puzzle. Some of the people that come across the podcast don't like the F word. They don't like the shit or the word or whatever word. I think those are my two favorite. Just shit and fuck. But if you can't see past that, that's why you're basically in the closet, in a box. You've got to see through that. You've got to see past that and just meet me halfway. Listen to the fact that what I'm trying to tell you is that even though you might have spent 20, 30 years since you were a fucking kid looking at aliens, looking at UFOs, trying to figure out what it all means. But I'm trying to tell you that there's people out there that not only have they figured a lot of this shit out, for fuck's sake, they've kept it on the wraps. So you guys that want to go out there and talk about the government this, the government that, and dark government this, and fuckers are going to Mars on TR-3Bs, guess what? There are people who are not in government who may even know more than what the government does. But you can't submit a FOIA for them because they're not government, they're private citizens. So what do you do then? What do you do? I don't know. It's confusing as fuck. Anyway, before I get started, I do have, I've been doing this thing, right? Like, I've told you guys, especially last year, I was harping on this thing about see your planet. This is your fucking planet. See it. It is beautiful. It is amazing. There are 2 channels that I watch on YouTube that I put in the description that are exactly that. These are regular folks who have taken it upon themselves to see their planet, to go out there and experience it. And this is not the only 2 I watch. There's a shitload of them. But these are the 2 that I interacted with right before the podcast because they respond to their viewers. And that is amazing. I see a bunch of other ones, but these 2 are the ones that respond the most. It is Leon at Ace Live at YouTube. Fantastic guy out of Miami. But he's been living in Colombia. Partially stuck there because of the coronavirus. But Colombia is not the only place he's visited. He's been everywhere. He's been to Asia. But he's living, enjoying life on this planet elsewhere. And he actually goes out there and he helps these people too. Colombia is a very poor country. I'm thinking about company and country at the same time. That's the way it is. I need some more vodka. But he's there and he helps them. He doesn't just take from them by broadcasting shit. He freaking helps them too while he's there. Young guy, but he's got his head on right when it comes to this. He's on the right path. You should be too. I'm not saying you need to go help any third world country you just stumble into, but enjoy your planet. Samuel and Audrey out of Argentina. Now, actually, they're Canadian, and they visit Argentina a lot with their dad, who, by the way, should be the spokesperson for Argentina. Again, here's another country, which is amazing. The Germans knew that shit, right? That's where they escaped to, according to many people. And actually, Argentina, they found a lot of folks who had so-called, collections of real German artifacts. But that's the conspiracy, right? They took off to Argentina, then they went to Antarctica, so aliens, freaking civilizations and shit like that. Who fucking knows? We have to actually go there to figure it out. But my point is, take your stimulus check and fucking go somewhere. Don't stay there. Don't stay where you're at in this hole and in this life that's afraid of a virus thanks to fucking Wuhan, who, by the way, I wish I could have a moment of silence on a podcast. It's kind of weird. I've tried that before and it backfires. But Larry King, gone thanks to Wuhan. Why isn't anybody talking about the fact of where this virus came from? Unless it's changed. Did somebody change where Wuhan is no longer the culprit in accidentally or not releasing the coronavirus? I don't know. Maybe I've lost some of that. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's not China anymore. Somebody's got to pay for this. This is really fucked up. But I want to keep you guys. But by the way, like I said, Norm and Green Man are in there. They're in the live chat. You're more than welcome to come in here. I might maybe play a little bit more music than I have in the past, but we got some articles to talk about. I don't know if I should leave Deuce Bigelow for the end, and I might just do that because probably that's where I'm going to spend most of the time. Just spewing my hatred and my stupid ass opinion, as many people might say. But it's an opinion, and you should have one as well, to be honest. So let's get to it.
I got this weight on my shoulders, slowing me down. I don't know how it came about. And while the world is spinning faster every night, I feel I'm stuck in reverse somehow. But it ain't no one's fault that I am stuck here. No one to blame this on, feeling so hopeless. I keep on pouring salt on my wounds when I shouldn't stay. I feel the pressure on me, how it's itching under my own skin. It's getting real hard to breathe. I gotta move on right now. I feel the pressure. A force of habit to point at another mistake, but two wrongs don't make one right. I gotta pull it together before it's too late. An hourglass in my mind, a light. I know it's all my fault that I am stuck here. No one to blame this on, feeling so hopeless. I gotta find the way before it disappears. I cannot stay. I feel the pressure on me, how it's itching under my own skin. It's getting real hard to breathe. I gotta move on right now. I feel the pressure. Ooh, when did I get so blind? I didn't see this coming. Ooh, I should have heard faith calling, trying to pull me out. But how do I get out? Yeah, how do I get out? I feel the pressure on me, how it's itching under my own skin. It's getting real hard to breathe. I gotta move on right now. I feel the pressure.
You know, some stories they linger on forever. Like you have a stomach ache and you sit around and say, I wish I could just take a shit. You know, just to get rid of it. Just get rid of whatever the hell is in your stomach. That way you can move on. You can just get rid of it. Things that are lingering right now, the CIA papers that were released, the message, the mysterious message that was coming from 4.2 far, Proxima Centauri, and then this CIA nonsense. It's all lingering. It's like someone, like ufology just needs to take a good shit and let's move on to something else. That's all I'm saying. I know you guys were wondering why I mentioned the whole situation with Proxima Centauri. BLC 1, the radio signal from 4.2 far. And those of you who used to listen to UFO Buster Radio, you probably already know. The term 4.21 came from a report that we had from Proxima Centauri. Yeah, that's the true story. That's how I came about in fucking that up. And it ended up like a catchphrase. People are still talking about this signal. It's significant for some. For others, they're saying it's just we're listening to our own signal. How the fuck does that happen? How do we listen to our own signal? Are we saying that we sent this signal out 982 megahertz. It bounced right the fuck back, and some dodo bird didn't see that there was a disc jockey in the message. How the fuck does that happen? You really listen to this and you didn't know that it was, Casey Kasem or some shit like that? Well, it turns out the problem is they don't listen to the shit live. They don't. They literally don't have the manpower, and let's be honest about this, to listen to these signals as they happen. And for fuck's sake, who wants to do that? Who wants to sit around listening to these sounds from deep space? No one. Like, you could throw millions of dollars to a listening project and have that shit completely unmanned. That's what the problem is to me at the core. Because the messages, the signals that they picked up were in April 29 of 2019 and also May of the same year. But for fuck's sake, no one came across this damn data because it was too late to listen to it live. No one came across this data until October of 2020. And there was a student, no less, that came across the data and said, hey, what the hell is this? Could this be technosignature? Is somebody over in Proxima Centauri sending us their Casey Kasem? Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. But it's still somewhat of a heated debate as to whether or not this came from our own planet or it actually came from 4.2 far light years away. The truth of the matter is, at the core of this, it's exciting, right? Because if it's only 4.24 light years away, fuck, that is a hop skip away in terms of everything else. Because we know that the search for life usually is not this close. It's usually billions of light years away. Our planet wouldn't even be around that long anyway, because we're sure to fuck it up. But this is where people are excited about this BLC-1, because it's part of the Breakthrough Listen project. And this could be it. This could be the one. But like anything else, when it comes to technosignatures, when it comes to the idea that maybe we may have picked up alien technosignatures or technology from someplace not of our own planet, there is always a group of scientists who seem to be just ready on the pounce. Just sitting around like a fat cat, just ready to pounce on a piece of buttered toast. I don't even know why that even makes sense to me, but I don't know. Just to say, no, you guys are idiots. Here's the funny thing. That signal was detected for over 30 hours. It's not like the WOW signal that just came and went. This was 30 hours. April and May of 2019. That's a long fucking time. That's almost a work week for some of you guys. Where this signal is coming from another planet, another solar system, to be honest. But the battle rages on. Because people are saying that with the Parkes radio telescope in Australia, what they picked up was bullshit. Casey Kasem coming back to us. Completely nuts. But no one's giving up on either side. They're still talking about it. It's like the freaking Oumuamua. I swear to you, if you look at today and you look up UFOs or alien in news stories, you will find a story on Oumuamua, the space rock from nowhere, in the last couple of days. Like, it's still a thing right now. Some of these things just don't die. But we add more and more stuff, really to confuse the shit out of things, to be honest. But anyway, 982 megahertz is the spectrum, over 30 hours, April and May of 2019, but not discovered until October of 2020. Maybe what these guys need to do is man some of these fucking students around the clock. Have someone there to discover the shit live in case they need to redirect things. Maybe spend a little bit more time on whatever they discover. Because it's over a year fucking later. Okay, the aliens, fuck, they were waiting already 4 fucking years for the signal to get here. Apparently they didn't get it. Let's switch the channel. Let's go somewhere else to send the message. I don't know. This is just a thing. It is just a thing. There was actually articles that were out in the last couple of days asking, who the fuck are we? Who the fuck are we to think that aliens would want to visit us for any damn reason? We've actually got that article, and it's going to be the next one we talk about, but for fuck's sake. Why is it this hard? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I want to say what's up to the one and only Ronnie Dawson, Mr. 17 in Texas, who has a speaking engagement at a UFO conference coming up. Was supposed to be in February, now it's in June, out in Nevada, I believe. Or New Mexico. Fuck. Ronnie, I got that messed up. I don't know which one it is. Actually, I think it's Nevada. Because I remember thinking about, well, if I go visit Ronnie while he's doing his thing, I can still go to Vegas and lose the rest of my money. We'll find out from Ronnie. I'm sure he'll post it in there coming up in a few when his situation is in the UFO conference circle, which is amazing, right? Ronnie's our man out there just doing stuff. And Ronnie just said Laughlin, Nevada in June. You got to check it out. Here's a story that really when I first heard Ronnie's story, I was shocked and awed. But little did I know that was just the beginning. That shock and awe would be minuscule to the fact that it gets wilder as it goes. Check out this track, folks.
Get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Start my day. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Drink some water, brush my teeth, get out of bed and I stretch. Bed in my hair is a mess. Look through my clothes for a fit. Anything I do is drip. Feel like a kid when I'm tick-tocking. I still keep it real as it is. I show my age, I don't switch often. I'm just as a dad as it gets. Try taking naps with my kids talking. I'm guessing this life how it is. And I can't wait for the weekend. Keep jammies on like I'm a kid. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Feel good, feel great, can't complain. Look out my window, see birds and planes. Sun's out, some clouds, it might rain. Siblings on my nerves again. Summertime, go for a swim. Wintertime, go grab a sled. Spring, I might need an umbrella. Fall back in school with my friends. Attitude change like the weather. My mom tell me it never ends. Like clocks, we evolve in a circle. Every 12 months, we do it again. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes clothes on, start my day. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, watch my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day.
Hey, this is the Tempest Universe with your host, Manny. I'm Bob Dylan. You know, in the 60s when we wanted to see things, we just took a lot of LSD.
You know, what's funny is that, so I've been having, in case you guys don't know, if you're new to the Tempest Universe and you're out in India or Germany or you're out in Norway, you know, one of those countries out there that you just happen to hear about Manny and his craziness about UFOs, the paranormal, all that kind of stuff. I have a dog. He is the podcast, the podcast UFO hunter, the mascot, if you will, who recently had a ruptured disc because he went balls to the wall against a neighbor's dog, and somehow he ruptured his freaking disc. I don't know, but there's been a lot of paranormal-ish events happening in the home. So, Bugs the UFO hunter is one of those things. Because he's got these behaviors over the last couple months that are so fucking weird. And I really thought it had to do with the fact that he's a broken back dog. So I'm thinking maybe it's because he's got a break in his spine that the signal's just not getting there anymore. You know, he can't really go out there and chase UFOs or make sense of his world. So last night, I actually set up a night camera. You know, those night infrared deals, whatever. Not like the stuff that, you know, the FLIR stuff that Lieutenant Fravor had on his jet. But this is straight out of China. It's probably laced with COVID. But I set it up last night. What I realized is that the UFO hunter, the Boston Terrier mascot of the podcast, he dreams a lot. And when he has a dream, it is violent as fuck. Like literally, every single dream that it looked like he was having a full-on fight with something. Something gray, something green, who knows. But holy moly, that was something else just sitting there this morning and watching him struggle through his dream. You almost want to know what the hell it is that your pets are dreaming, because he has some serious shit going on, to be honest. It was so serious that the camera itself is set on motion detection. It was about maybe 9 or 10 feet away from him. And in the pitch darkness of the room, they could still pick up the fact that Bugs was going to war with something. I don't know. Probably somebody's trying to probe him and he's just trying to get away. It's very possible. Let's get into the new one, because this next article had a surprise author that I didn't realize I was reading this from a UFO blue-collar superstar. The title of this article, in Scientific American no less, is "Why Do We Assume Extraterrestrials Might Want to Visit Us?" I mean, really? Are we that special? Is it because we have orifices that they can experiment with? Is that why we're special? Because they can probe us? Is it because we are susceptible to mindfucks? Maybe that's why aliens from our galaxy and nearby galaxies want to stop by the little blue planet that has things that are known as red light districts. Maybe that's what we're dealing with. The author says it is presumptuous of us to assume that we are worthy of any kind of attention from anyone else in the Milky Way galaxy. That really, as the way things turn out, that we are really just a phenomenon, maybe. Maybe we're just uninteresting ants in general to them. That they decided on their path that they would, stop over, swing by, probe a couple of butts, and just kind of examine the worthless beings, third from the sun. And I'm reading this, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, but you're a fucker for saying that. I'll be honest. That's what my thought was, right? Like, how could you say that? But yeah, you're right. You are totally, completely correct. The article is medium length article. Like, if you had one of those nights where you need to go to the shitter because you're going to spend a few minutes in there, you know, the type of ones that put your legs to sleep, you might be interested in reading this particular article. Because it really tells you that we're not unique. We're not. The universe is Tempest. It is magnificent. It is huge. Completely huge. So I was reading through this article. I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. I feel angered because I'm human, but fuck, you're right. And then I look at who the author is. It's Avi Loeb from Harvard University. Yeah, the same guy that's talking about Oumuamua being possibly a probe from a different part of the galaxy. Avi is no stranger to ufology over the last 2 years. He gives no fucks. And the fact that he's still employed at Harvard is fucking amazing to me. I'm surprised that he's still there. The article has some information here about Avi's career. I mean, why not? If you're going to write a fucking article, you must promote your own shit. That's the way it should be. But then I was looking at it and I was like, wait a minute. The description of Avi Loeb says Avi Loeb is former chair 2011 to 2020 of the astronomy department at Harvard University. For fuck's sake, they got to Avi. You guys know, I have been wondering how in the hell is it that Avi Loeb has been able to hold his job at Harvard University. This is not Harvard University type of talk. It really isn't. But his own article, it appears that his time at Harvard has come to an end. It's as expected, as you can say. Because I was shocked that he was still there. There's a little bit more on here. It says that Avi Loeb also chairs the Board of Physics and Astronomy of the National Academics and the Advisory Board of the Breakthrough, I'm a little hungry, the Breakthrough Starshot Project. He's also a member of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. I don't know if it is for this president, but apparently for the former. He is also the author of the book Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, forthcoming from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt this year. Now, this is the book that I'll be giving away to listeners of the podcast when it actually gets out here, when I can actually buy it. I'm not sure how many or how I'm going to do it, but some of you, one of you, or maybe 2 or 3 of you fuckers are going to get this book. And I want you to share with us. Does Avi Loeb make sense? Is he the one that we should gravitate to as opposed to, you know, the Deuce Bigelows of the world? There's another part of this article that says the Fermi paradox, which for fuck's sake, I really hate we shouldn't even talk about Fermi anymore. Fermi came across a postulate at a point where he had no reference. Fermi's paradox is based on a lot of missing information, limited information. His paradox is not true anymore. I don't understand why people hold on to that paradox, you know. Just let go of it. Forget about it. But he says that Fermi's paradox basically assumes that we as humans are some kind of cosmic significance. Like we're the gods of the universe, of the solar system, of the galaxy. But Audry says the truth is that we might be ordinary people, ordinary species, ordinary beings that unfortunately are probably going to perish just like the dinosaurs. That we're going to fuck up this planet so bad under some kind of crazy catastrophe that we will just disappear. Our uniqueness, whatever it is, it'll be gone, wiped. And then you'll have someone. You'll have like an Elon Musk from another solar system come down here, and he's like, he wants to shoot up his rocks, his close to light speed rocks. He lands on this planet because of where it is, and he finds Trump's hair. And then after that, they find other shit. And they're like, hey, there used to be a civilization here who was into a lot of drugs, and they liked space a little, but they blew themselves the fuck up. Audry says this is what's going to go down. We are not unique. We are not. And he says it's possible that our galactic neighbors may even care about the fact that our grass is green. Many of them might be under dwarf stars like Proxima Centauri, which we got the message from. And their grass might be red, a dark red, because of their star. And maybe that's what makes us unique. But at the end of the day, we're not. Eventually we'll get there. Eventually we'll get to the point where we can find other life, other sentient beings, as, Optimus Prime would say, in other parts of our galaxy. Because for fuck's sake, we are just too naive to find life in other galaxies. Fuck, we can't even get it in our own solar system. But eventually we'll get there. Now, whether or not half the population is going to jump off the tallest building, who fucking knows? We'll wait for that to happen. But the article is pretty good. Like I said, it's probably, maybe, if you really want to take it all in, it's probably a two-shitter article. In case you want to, not necessarily let your legs go completely asleep. You might want to pause it, come back and read it some other visit. But it makes sense. It really makes sense. So thanks to Avi Loeb, who apparently is no longer with Harvard. Actually, that took a long time, to be honest. So, hey, no fucks given, Harvard. We knew you were going to fuck that up.
Don't need your pity, don't need anything from you. You made me someone I am not. You made me realize what I got. Don't want your sympathy, your eyes so full of tears. I got my friends who got my back, so don't pretend you're all I have. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without you, I'm sure. Look at me now, I survived, so don't you worry about me. 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 Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah, I'm living it up without you. Ooh, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. Come get your clothes and all the stuff you left behind. Don't want it lying all around, don't want a thing here to remind me of your presence, cause I'm much better without. No need for memories at all, I'm done erasing you, my love. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without your eyes shut. Look at me now, I survived, so don't you worry about me. Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah, I'm living it up without you. Ooh, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, and the recent data for statistical information as far as countries that listen to the Tempest Universe, actually the Dark Horde network. And by the way, if you're interested in having a podcast on the network, let me know. You know, if you got the cojones to do it, it's okay. It's weird how people get really freaked out about doing a podcast, but then they go and do it, and then they fail. But probably because you're too worried about what the fuck you're listening. You know, not listening, but how you sound. You cannot compare yourself to the podcast. Just fucking do it. As long as you got information to share. Not that I do, but I don't care. I want to welcome Japan and Hong Kong to the listenership since the last episode. I don't know if this is a reference to every time I speak about things in Asia. But listen, if you're out in Asia, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Australia, of course, is on there. Canada, India. India is picking up. That is another one. There is a YouTube channel, Food Ranger. And he really spends a lot of time in places. I think he recently was in Mexico, but he spends so much time in India and eating like food from vendors, street vendors in India. Holy moly. The food looks magnificent. I don't know. I feel like I need to do that. Maybe I'll just give up podcasting altogether and just become like a food critic of the world. Anyway, the UK, always there on top. Canada, always there on top. And the US of A, where I am right now. So thank you guys. Atlanta, Georgia, came up big in the last episode. Monroe, North Carolina. East Orange, New Jersey. Who the fuck lives up there? I've been wanting to go back to New York City. You know, I'm from the Bronx and all. So I've been wanting to go back to New York City before I drop dead. Maybe I can hold up at somebody's house in East Orange. You know, I just got to go take the GW and get into the northern part of Manhattan, if you will. Reno, Nevada. Thank you very much for being on top of this. Los Angeles. Gotta love the Los Angeles people. Dublin, Ireland. Sorry for the accent. Edmond, Canada. Round Rock, Texas. Dude, that's like maybe 45 minutes away from me? I really like Round Rock. I really do. It's an amazing place. A lot of tech companies there. Toronto, Canada. Newark, New Jersey. And many, many more. Thank you guys for being part of the Tempest Universe recently. And please, like, share, tell your mama, tell your dada, tell your grandma, tell your granddada. Because I'm sure many of them have seen some strange ass shit. And they might not share it with you because they think you don't understand. Let's get on to the next one. Really, that is 100% true. I actually clicked the wrong fucking button there. Like I stopped the song before I unmuted myself. All we need now is for bugs to crash in through the door and start making a bunch of noise. The next article has to do with Idaho, and the fact that per capita, according to this story, the Idahoans, if that's a thing, have the most UFO sightings. Idaho. Now listen, we're not going to screw around. Idaho has the best potatoes. Huge ass potatoes. Tasty. They go great with steak. But for fuck's sakes, how is it that Idaho has the most UFO sightings per capita? It's beyond me. I don't even get it. And why? You know, most of the bases that we thinking about, and most of the places that we talk about, especially like these underground bases and abductions and all these things, I don't recall too many being from Idaho. So is it that, you know, ET just wants to look at Idahoans and not do shit there because they're Idahos? I don't know. It's really strange. And now it turns out that Idahoans see things like Tic Tacs. For fuck's sake, it's not even a Brent Smith anymore. It's a fucking UFO. Like Tic Tacs should change their name at this point. Because as we get deeper into this ufology thing, I don't even think Tic Tacs are going to be associated with the candy anymore. Little Mints. They'll be all about flavor. Every time you hear Tic Tac, all you see is flavor. The other thing is giant triangles, swirling light balls. Not to be mistaken with people who like to dance to EDM and have lights under their nads. But Idahoans like to see swirling light balls. I don't know. It's just crazy. Here's the one thing that is not reported, which is, according to this article, alien abductions. For the love of Pete. There's a gap here when it comes to alien abductions. Not just you guys who reflect and identify as being from Idaho, but in general, alien abductions are not reported. Now you can go on to Facebook, you can go on to Reddit, you can go on to Twitter, and you will find people actively speaking on the fact that they have been abducted by an alien. Whether they were, whether they look like a praying mantis or, you know, their neighbor's, I don't know, lizard pet. People are still reporting abductions, but it doesn't make it into the data anywhere. That's kind of sad. Because I think if we were able to collect every time someone reported anywhere in the world that they felt like they were being abducted or they showed evidence of marks on their bodies, I think the conversation would change some. Because as far as we know, Travis Walton might have been the last one. Or those guys out of Pascagoula. Everybody else is cool. That shit ain't never happened again. Because it got some bad gumbo out of Pascagoula. Alien abductions are happening. Now, some of you might say, night terrors. Sleep apnea or some shit like that. But, some of these people actually have physical evidence. And some of these people have actually attempted to record the incidents, and they end up with some really crazy interference in their video recordings. But what I say to you is, a lot of these people are not that savvy to actually make that happen. Nor do they want to spend the money just to fool you off of a, nighttime video of them getting abducted. I don't know. I think it's a fantastic topic that is not being addressed. And that is that people are still being taken by these entities, whatever the fuck they may be. They could be from under the water, a different dimension. Hell, they could be their neighbor dressed up in alien costumes. Who fucking knows? But there's an issue there that people are not talking about. One of the reportings that they said was happening a lot out of Idaho is Starlink. Starlink, for many people, if you are just 2 or 3 steps above someone who is spear chucking, Starlink is pretty scary. It is an abnormal event. There's one here that someone reported, and it goes like this. It was about 6:45 p.m. There was a super bright light above the Albion Mountains to the west. At first I thought it was a snowmobile. Who the fuck is going to have a snowmobile in the sky? What the hell is wrong with you? They must have been drinking. The snowmobile may have been on a ridge, but I saw it was above the mountain. Then all of these stars-looking objects came in from the perfect straight line heading east overhead. They kept coming and coming. He's referring to something else he was watching. Probably 30 to 50 of them. Almost like they were returning from a mission. My thought is that I had at the time was that he was seeing a mothership of some sort. And it sent out a bunch of smaller crafts. And here's the part that really hits me to the core as bullshit. I do not drink or take drugs, so I was not hallucinating. It's pretty sad when you have to preface your statement by not taking drugs or drinking. I think maybe drugs or drinking probably keeps you from actually seeing shit, to be honest. But that's the story. That's one of the stories that we heard out of the 164 sightings that were reported in 2020 out of Idaho. I don't know. You can't blame anyone for reporting the Starlink satellites. It's weird as fuck. It really is. And if you're not on top of the news, which it turns out a lot of people are not. A lot of people don't understand SpaceX. A lot of people don't know about these damn Starlinks. And when they see that train of lights going over the sky, depending on what your knowledge is of such things, you may think you're being invaded. Or you may think, fuck, the government's up to something else again. But it's not a normal sight to see, especially not yet. Now, when Elon and SpaceX decide to blanket us with like 40 fucking thousand satellites in the sky, well, fuck, that's all you're going to see. You're not even going to see your regular stars. All you're going to see is Starlink satellites dancing across your sky. But that is what it is. So Idaho, number 1 for 2020. We'll see what happens this year. Because I think as we get closer to this quote-unquote disclosure from all these government agencies to that committee in Congress, we'll see as people ramp up. Because I'm sure like every freaking 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to bring this shit up again in the media until we get to those 180 day, the final day. People are just going to see shit. I'll be honest. They will. It could be a fucking Cessna that they've seen flying over their house for the last 20 years. But that day, that bitch would be a UFO. I'll be honest with you. That's just the way it works. That's the human condition. I mean, I think it is. I don't know. I'm not human. One more track as we check out the one article I've been putting off to the end because it hurts me. It hurts me bad.
What I do slow. Wait a second, don't you know? You're messing with my sense of time, and you are always on my mind. All the time, you're always on my mind. All the time. Hold on, wait a second, take it slow. What are you doing to me? Hold on, wait a second, don't you know that you're always on my mind? All the time, you're always on my mind. All the time, don't you know? On my mind, always on my mind. All the time.
You know, I've been giving a lot of thought to YouTubers, especially YouTubers who deal with ufology. And just recently, in the last couple of days, I've been talking to the Out There channel because apparently they've got this crazy ass fucking war with Goof on. Where's Giordano? You know, Paul and the gang over there. And, you know, here's the thing. Okay, I just want to make this clear. If you have a bunch of followers as a content creator, whatever it is, I mean, it could be ladies' pantyhose. Who fucking cares? It could be that you are someone that likes to ride motorcycles all fucking day. And you do wheelies and shit. Do crazy stunts and get chased by the cops. Whatever it is, that is your content, you're creating it. And if someone supports you, like if someone goes on your live broadcast and drops $20 on you, so fucking what? The problem is the channels that take the $20, and in some ways they don't return that back to the listeners. And then there's other channels who have great content, but no one gives two fucks about them. It's just weird on YouTube. It really is. But you know, at the end of the day, everyone's doing what they can, especially when it comes to UFOs. Whether what they see or how they behave is crazy, they have followers, and many followers, kind of like the Asgardians, they will be there with you through whatever you go through. So I guess the issue, or what I'm trying to say is that don't take offense if a channel is racking in money just for being themselves, because that's the content that they created. No matter what kind of an asshole they may be on their broadcast, they're giving you content. They're giving you stuff that apparently many people are giving money for. But at the same time, don't be a dick to another channel just because they're different. And that's where the problem is, right? Because you can rack up all kind of shit on your channel, but if you're going to turn around and be a dick to another channel just because you think you're the ufology god, fuck off. Nobody wants to hear that shit. For real. Here's a story that I've been kind of like mowing over, to be honest, because from the beginning, when I first heard about Deuce Bigelow and Space Gigolo's story, I was like, look at this guy. Look at him chasing the stuff that makes him go, Look at him putting all his hard-earned money. The CEO of Bigelow Aerospace, the guy that's got contracts with NASA, who made big bills in the hotel business. He's a millionaire, not a billionaire. Hey, fuck, who knows? Maybe he is a billionaire, he's just not telling us. And we saw Bigelow, the good old space gigolo. And actually, I actually had this, I think it was 4 years ago, maybe 5. He had an interview where they were talking to him about UFOs. And the reporter made a comment about how, like the Cheshire Cat, he was like he was holding something back in the interview. And he had this crazed laugh, like a snicker, about UFOs and what he knew and what he thought about it. It was the creepiest fucking interview ever. But today, you come across an article, right, about this new company, the Bigelow Institute. This new company he's put together regarding life after death. Love it. I'm all for it. The problem is that we know the UFO side of Bigelow. We know the Skinwalker Ranch Bigelow to an extent. BICS, which they could have just put a D in it, but BICS apparently has been put together by him as of June 2020. And he's trying to research the survival of human consciousness after the body has long gone. He's basing this on studies and data and things that happen that give glimpses to the natural afterlife. He wants to know more. The problem is that when you look at the videos of what happened in Skinwalker Ranch, this is the impression I get. The link's in the description, by the way. You can look at the interviews that Dukes Bigelow did with George Knapp. And again, any channel out there that says George Knapp he's a sellout, he's an asshole, I don't think so much. But I do think that in some ways he does pander to some of these guys, but maybe it's for good reason, because a lot of these guys have so much information, like I said earlier in the podcast, that maybe that's the only way to get it out of them. So maybe George Knapp is onto something. I don't know. In his discussion with George Knapp, he talked about loss. He talked about the loss of his parents. He talked about a loss of his own son. And those points in life where he's like, there's got to be more. There's got to be something after this, because he even went and visited psychics, mediums, to find out where was these individuals that passed away in his life, and he wanted to contact them because he believes. To a certain extent, we all fucking believe, right? Because we all come across loss of that type. Plain and simple. Whether it be a parent, a sibling, a friend, even your pet. People go to mediums to connect with those that have passed on. It's been the shit for eons. In his interview, there was a discussion about Skinwalker Ranch. There was a discussion about things that I've never seen reported anywhere. One of the things he talked about was the fact that there were games set up with an unknown entity. An entity that he interacted with, not at Skinwalker Ranch, from a distance. From a remote location, probably from fucking Nevada, if we can be honest about it. But there was set up games, and this entity would play along. And he even said the entity would enhance the game. But he couldn't find answers. he couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. They captured so many things on video. They even had government employees who took some of these experiences home with them unwillingly. They didn't freaking ask for it. But you've heard the stories of people who have dealings with poltergeists and things like that, or spirits, unsettled spirits, that they get followed to their home and shit goes down there also. He experienced this during the Skinwalker Ranch NIDS investigations. Apparently he has video of this. Where is the video? Where is the information? This is what bothers me about Robert Bigelow. This is what bothers me about To the Stars Academy. It's the same fucking thing. They use the blue-collar folk, the regular people, to get their information, and then they hoard it to themselves. And now we have this BICS essay, for which he's not exactly saying, hey, write an essay, we'll give you a scholarship so you can go to some local school somewhere, and we'll pay for your expenses or whatever, because you're a fucking genius. No, he's giving first place $500,000. $500,000 to write about and provide evidence of the afterlife. Press on the brakes, brother. Where the fuck is all the info from Skinwalker Ranch? So you're turning to the people to answer your question. And my thought process is that the questions that you want answered were the ones that were not answered through your experience at Skinwalker Ranch. Now he's proposing that this is to help people who experience loss. That this is for everyone. This is for the world. I am altruistic. I'm going to help people figure out what happens after their loved ones die. I don't see that, because in his interview himself, there were a lot of unanswered questions. How were they able to connect to the entities, even briefly, at Skinwalker Ranch? Why did all these weird things happen all in that one location? Mind you, he did make it clear that Skinwalker Ranch was not the only ranch that was having all the crazy experiences. That neighboring ranches in that area also had the same things, maybe worse than what was observed at Skinwalker Ranch. But we don't know entirely what went down at Skinwalker Ranch. I assume, just from that this essay, it will be more of the same. This Bigelow Institute's essay, whoever wins it, first, second, and place, all have prizes attached to them. But you will become almost a guinea pig eventually, as people that are the so-called judges try to figure out if you've got the answer. To me, Bigelow is looking for that missing link. He's looking for what he could not explain all the time that he spent at Skinwalker Ranch, because he knows there's something true there. There is a reason why you should let go of this information, Deuce. Because if you really want people to feel assured of the fact that these experiences they have with these unknown entities that might be perceived as poltergeists, if you really want to help them, release the information. I think it would help so many people to know that this things that they experience, this paranormal stuff, was actually captured by scientists and a millionaire who studied it and who came up blank, who could not draw real answers to what happened. That's really the first step. Fuck the essay. That's the first step. As much as we say that the government is holding information from us, private citizens with deep pockets are doing the same thing. Not just about the paranormal, but UFOs as well. for those of you who are interested, after all that, for those of you who are interested in the actual essay, yeah, they want to know. But you need to provide evidence that what you're saying about life and consciousness after life, after people have left their body, you need to have some evidence about that. Things like data, photographs, literature, but you can't quote the Bible or any other kind of biblical text. It needs to be factual evidence. You need to have credible witnesses. So he's not looking for folks to come in and talk about when they're on past that they were in the kitchen the next day and they smell fresh strawberries. That's not what he's looking for. He wants you to fill in the fucking gap. The gap that him and Nids could not come to a clear conclusion scientifically as far as consciousness after you've died and what happens when you're in the other side. That really is what it is. The link is in the description if you want to, take a chance to write something down. Now, I found it funny that one of the judges is Putov, whatever the fuck his name is, who has been involved in all kind of crazy stuff. Like you cannot get away from this dude. He is in everything that has to do with To the Stars Academy, that has to do with all these freaking things that are UFO. And now, human consciousness is one of them. But will you ever get a straight answer for any one of these guys? Probably not. So, if you feel like you know the answer to what happens to human consciousness after the body is long gone, that's where you got to go. So some of the judges, just so that you know, is Jeffy J. Cripple. That's a fucked up name to have. Associate Dean of Faculty at Rice University. Leslie Keene, of course, investigative journalist. Christopher C. Green, PhD, forensic neurologist. Brian Weiss, MD, Chairman Emeritus of Psychiatry, just in case you're crazy as fuck. Jessica Utz, Professor Emerita of Statistics, because you might put some numbers down. And Harold Putov, CEO of the Earth Tech. Harold is just everywhere, to be honest. But again, what does he offer us in the way of help? The truth is, I think that good old-fashioned Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, needs to come clean about UFOs, needs to come clean about Skinwalker Ranch. And then we'll talk about consciousness. Because I think even the reptilian man might have information for him. Check out the link in the description. And let me know if you decide to apply. Because that's a lot of fucking money. First place, $500,000. Second place, $300,000. Third place, $150,000. Let's go. I don't know about you guys, but, after dealing and reading so many stories about, rich fuckers who like to keep all the information to themselves, I'm just ready to give up the whole thing and just travel the world and take you guys with me. That really is my plan. That's why I've got all this equipment that I got in 2020, but thanks to Wuhan, it's kind of been sitting by. I did get some motorcycle trip videos out there on Facebook and stuff like that, even on Instagram, when I went out riding at first. But for fuck's sake, Wuhan has really fucked everything up. Sorry again to hear about the loss of Larry King. He was always one to be okay with talking about UFOs and things like that. So sorry about that. It really is pretty sad. But, we all have our time. And if you don't make the best of it, you're going to be full of regrets. Even in the afterlife, when you end up going to the other side, and there is Deuce Bigelow, the space gigolo, trying to get all the information out of you. For fuck's sake. I thank you guys for listening. Please share the podcast. It takes not much more than about 500 kilocalories in order to click away and share it with everyone you know. I mean, everyone will take you a while. Some of you guys are pretty popular. But share it, like it, subscribe, and be part of this conversation. I always welcome the banter between listeners and also with me. And join the Discord. Get to meet the Asgardians live, like Ronnie Dawson, The Norm, Green Man, and even our overseer, Kit. With that said, I'm about to check out because I'm done. I'll see you guys again on Monday, and we'll see what pops up, because it's about to be crazy, especially out of SpaceX. Ciao.
I've been wandering down the same road back into town.
lying and tell you you're fine. I could be lying the rest of the night, but I won't do it, no, no way I'm saying so. I could pretend that you're doing okay. I could give in when you want it your way, but I won't do it, no, no way I'm saying so. He's been seeing someone else. He's been paying for hotels. Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. And baby, I know it hurts. I know it hurts. The faster you realize, the quicker you learn. So don't be afraid to open the scars he left behind. You won't believe who he's calling that to. You don't deserve what he's putting you through. It's not your fault, though, no, no way I'm saying so. Promise you'll end it the second you can. Promise I'll be here to hold you, my friend. It's not your fault, though, no, no way I'm saying so. He's been seeing someone else. He's been paying for hotels. Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. And baby, I know it hurts. I know it hurts. The faster you realize, the quicker you learn. So don't be afraid to cry every tear you got inside. And baby, I know it hurts.
I don't know what it is, but the spirit of Elon Musk is compelling me to keep playing music.
to the mountain. Home to the mountain.
I have no idea why I like playing music on the Tempest Universe, but hey, it is what it is, isn't it?
Winds
Tempest Universe with your host, Manny. I'm Bob Dylan. You know, in the 60s, when we wanted to see things, we just took a lot of LSD.
All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. So how can I fix this? 'Cause I need to stop the aching in my head. My heart is breaking. Yeah, I'm tired of being stuck in the past. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. The reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted.
By the way, you're still listening to the Tempest Universe. For some reason, I can't let go probably because it's Saturday. It's not freaking 10 o'clock at night. And I'm just playing music, for fuck's sake. I know the podcast is over. The UFO stuff is done. But I still feel like I got a couple more songs in me. So bear with me. This is the last one for today, for this episode, actually, not tonight. Who the fuck knows? But for fuck's sake, please wash your hands.
Remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. Every time you've been around playing with friends, remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash with soap. Remember to wash with soap. When you wash your hands after blowing your nose, remember to wash with soap. And count to 20 at least. Count to 20 at least. Cover your cough and then wash your hands. And always count to 20 at least. Oh, oh, bring it on, sing along to the hand washing song. Remember to clean your nails. Remember to clean your nails every day before you eat your meal. Remember to clean your nails. Remember to wash them all around. Remember to wash them all around. Remember to wash both tops and palms after you've been eating your meal. And count to 20 at least. Count to 20 at least. When you're done going potty, wash your hands and count to 20 at least. Oh, oh, bring it on and sing along to the hand washing song. Let's go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now your hands are clean.